America's celebrating a very different kind of Thanksgiving tomorrow. And the CDC is pleading with people to stay put, but flight maps show that it's the busiest air travel time since the pandemic started, and many worry that their relatives aren't being honest about quarantining before they visit. Now, according to an article in Glamour magazine, can you relate to any of this? I'll start with you, Sarah, the most glamorous of us all.
I like your
Can
take
you
on
relate to
glamour.
any of this?
Well, not in
Yes,
regard
I feel
to
like that.
the holiday specifically, but in regard to the pandemic in general. There are 4 of us kids, and we didn't trust my parents. They live in Florida, and they take this seriously, but we were hyper vigilant because of their ages and their health. And so my brother went down there to work remotely a few months ago for a month, and he was like our undercover mole. We'd be talking to my parents, and we're like, "You haven't been going out, right?" "No, we didn't go out." "They went to the store the other day." Like every day we'd get updates from my brother, and then my mom's like, "We're not eating inside." And then my brother's like, "They ate inside one time." And we were like, the phones start ringing, my parents are turning on my brother. So like we were really worried, but we decided that we'd send one of us in to protect them. So I totally understand why people, are feeling this way, because everyone's handling it so differently. So.
Right. And the flight maps, people are really freaking out about because they feel people really are desperate to see each other. I mean, what would you say to them, Joy?
First of all, I would say that Sarah comes from a very dysfunctional family. That would be my first thing.
Joy, you already knew this.
I know that already, yeah. But no, what I would, here's the thing about this. I can totally relate to it because back in the day, in the late 80s, I was trapped in Los Angeles like a dog, alone, without a husband, without a boyfriend, without a family, all by myself. And there is nothing more lonely than being in Los Angeles without anybody around you. I was talking to the palm trees. I would be anybody who would talk to me. And I was only in my late 40s at that time, and I was living in an assisted living complex, okay? And people would walk by on walkers, and it was so depressing. And so I understand the desire and the need to travel to see your family. And if there was a coronavirus or something like that at that time, I would have had Steve drive from New York to LA, pick me up, and drive me back to LA. That's to New York. That's how desperate a dog I was. So I say unto you people out there, I feel your pain, but you're going to have to live with it.
Saving the best for the end
what
there,
about
Joy.
you, Anna? What's your Thanksgiving looking like?
First of all, I think I look like the inside of a planetarium with this dress today. But and if Joy was talking, if Joy was talking to palm trees, I'm not sure Sarah is the dysfunctional one. But look, on a serious note, for me, I'm traveling tomorrow, and the reason I'm traveling to Nicaragua to see my mom. This has been a very hard year for me. My mom has been near death and in the hospital down there twice in the last, 6 months. I haven't seen her in a year. It's not to celebrate Thanksgiving. We don't celebrate Thanksgiving in Nicaragua. I'm going down there because flights just reopened, and my mother's been near death, and I need to see her. It is the only thing she wants. I will tell you that the airline requires a COVID test within 36 hours of flying for every single passenger. I went and got the test yesterday. I submitted it last night, and I'm going to be, in a full hazmat suit. I'm going to look like I'm flying to the moon. Al is going to look the same way. And I feel terrible about not heeding the CDC's advice. I do, and I'm so torn about it. But I cannot tell my mother that I'm not going to go see her. So that's what mine's going to look like. And I'm grateful that she's here for another Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And what about you, son? What's your plan for tomorrow?
Well, I'm just going to stay at home and follow the guidelines, the CDC guidelines, and just have Thanksgiving with people that I live with in the house. And it's going to be a very different Thanksgiving for us. And, we're going to Zoom with our you know, family and friends that can't be with us in the home, but we're going to try to make the best of it and keep everybody safe. But Ann, I have to say, I'm so happy that you're going to go see your mom, because I know how you've been torn about her health and not being able to see her. And, you know, I think it's times like that that, you know, sometimes you just have to make an exception and try to be as safe as possible and go see your mom.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I think you're doing the right thing. I think you're doing the right thing.
You know, and I think so much about people who are in the same situation, who've lost precious time with loved ones in their life who are in very frail health, and we're never going to get this time back. And people like me who have relatives and loved ones in places where there have been no flights to, where the borders have been closed. So it's been a painful year for so many.
For so many folks.
Whoopi, what are you doing?
Before we
Whoopi,
go,
what are you going to do?
I'm here. You know, the family's been here for about 3 weeks. You know, because 6 weeks ago, you didn't know what was happening. You know, so you make these plans, and then everybody comes, they went back, they voted, and then they came back, and, you know, stuff exploded. But they've gotten tested, because my son-in-law has to get tested, you know, because he's been ill. So between he and I, you know, you really have to unzip the house to walk in here. You really, I need to have all your paperwork before you come into the house. So it's all, you know, we're taking it seriously, but, you know, you have to do what you're able to do. The point is, the people who go out and then you want to show everybody that you do, have sense enough to put on a face mask. Because when you go out and you're standing there partying without a mask, you're basically saying, I don't care if I kill you. See, people don't want to see that. They don't want to see that.